Moments before handing her $500 million inheritance to adopted children, the unthinkable happened. Evelyn Carter, an elderly black woman who had sacrificed everything to raise two abandoned kids as her own, thought she was leaving them a future of comfort. But the night before finalizing her will, she paused outside their door and froze. Through the crack, she heard them whispering, plotting to tamper with her medicine, laughing about how soon her fortune would be theirs. Her heart shattered. Yet instead of breaking, she quietly set a trap. And when the day of the signing came, it wasn't the lawyer who walked through her door. Evelyn Carter was not born into wealth. She was born into hardship. Every wrinkle on her face told the story of long nights cleaning offices, of dawn shifts in laundromats, of aching knees that carried her through decades of sacrifice. The neighborhood knew her as the quiet, stubborn woman who never complained, even when her hands cracked from detergent or when her back bent from carrying loads twice her size. But what they didn't know was that Evelyn carried inside her a will made of steel. She wasn't just working for herself, she was working to give meaning to her life, to leave behind something more than just exhaustion. That meaning arrived one stormy evening years ago when she found two children huddled beneath a flickering streetlight. John and Olivia, siblings no older than 8, sat barefoot, their clothes in tatters, their eyes hollow with hunger. Passers-by shook their heads, muttering about lost causes. But Evelyn stopped. She couldn't walk away. Pulling her thin coat from her shoulders, she wrapped it around the trembling children and led them home. Her house was small, just 2 rooms and a kitchen with peeling paint, but that night it became a sanctuary. Evelyn gave them her bed and slept on the floor. She shared her bread and boiled water, stretching scraps into meals. From that day on, John and Olivia became her children, not by blood, but by choice. Life grew harder. Evelyn often skipped meals so the children could eat. She walked to work instead of paying for the bus so she could buy them notebooks. When winter bit at their heels, she patched their shoes with old fabric, whispering, "It'll hold a little longer." Some neighbors admired her. Others mocked her. "Raising strays at her age?" they scoffed. "They'll abandon her the moment they grow." But Evelyn ignored them. At night, when she watched John and Olivia sleep peacefully with full stomachs, she knew she had made the right choice. Years passed. The children grew, went to school, called her Mama in public. Every time Evelyn heard that word, the pain in her body lightened. She had no husband, no children of her own. John and Olivia were her entire world. But beneath her love was an unspoken truth. Evelyn had given them everything because she had no one else. They weren't just her responsibility, they were her legacy. Evelyn's fortune didn't come suddenly. It grew like seeds sown in dry soil. She bought a tiny patch of land outside town with her savings from years of cleaning jobs. People laughed at her, saying, "That dirt won't grow weeds." But Evelyn worked it, season after season, and slowly the earth rewarded her. The vegetables she grew turned into income. That income became investments. She joined a local women's cooperative, learned about property, livestock, and eventually shares in rising businesses. She risked, she endured, she believed. Over decades, her quiet discipline transformed scraps of earnings into an empire worth $500 million. To outsiders, she was a miracle, a poor woman who built wealth with her bare hands. But to Evelyn, it wasn't for herself. It was always for John and Olivia. Her house remained modest, her clothes patched, her meals simple. But for them, she imagined a future of comfort, security, and opportunity. By 79, Evelyn's body had grown fragile. Doctors prescribed pills that lined her bedside table. John and Olivia often reminded her to take them, urged her to rest. To the world, it looked like love. But Evelyn noticed shadows, a quick exchange of glances, hushed whispers that ended when she entered the room. She brushed them off, until that night, She paused outside their door and heard words that shattered her soul. "Why wait so long? She's weak already. Once she's gone, everything's ours. The medicine. Just adjust it. Who will question it?" Laughter followed. Not playful laughter. Dark. Greedy. Evelyn's chest tightened. Her legs trembled. The children she had rescued, the ones she had starved for, were planning to end her life for money. Tears stung her eyes, but even through the pain, a fire lit inside her. Betrayal wouldn't destroy her. It would awaken her. The next morning, Evelyn made a decision. Instead of the lawyer, she called Detective Harris, a seasoned officer she trusted. She explained everything she had overheard, her voice trembling but steady. Harris assured her, "Stay calm. Let them believe nothing has changed. We'll handle the rest." That evening at dinner, Evelyn played her part. She smiled weakly, even joked about how tomorrow the lawyer would come to finalize the will. John and Olivia exchanged eager glances, their greed barely hidden. Evelyn's heart cracked, but she forced her lips into a gentle smile. She also arranged a celebration dinner for the next evening, saying, "One last family meal before I put everything in writing." The following night, her small home glowed warmly. The table was set with her best dishes. John and Olivia arrived sharply dressed, their laughter careless, already envisioning the fortune they believed was theirs. Evelyn sat opposite them, her shawl wrapped tightly, her hands trembling beneath the table. Halfway through the meal, a knock sounded. The siblings grinned. "That must be the lawyer," Olivia whispered. But when the door opened, it wasn't. A lawyer, Detective Harris, and two officers stepped in, badges gleaming under the light. "John Carter, Olivia Carter." Their voices were calm but firm. Confusion swept across the siblings' faces. "This must be a mistake," they protested. But the evidence was irrefutable. Tampered pill bottles, Evelyn's testimony and recordings. Placed by officers after her call. The trap had worked. A's handcuffs clicked around their wrists. Evelyn sat frozen, not victorious, not smug, just exhausted. But she was alive. In the weeks that followed, Evelyn rewrote her will. Not for John and Olivia, who had betrayed her, but for children like them once were. Abandoned, forgotten, hungry. Her fortune went to shelters, scholarships, and homes that would protect innocence long after she was gone. Betrayal had scarred her deeply, but her legacy would heal deeper wounds. Because family, she realized, isn't about who you raise or sign papers for. It's about who guards your heart when the world tries to break it. Evelyn Carter's story shows us that betrayal can come from the people closest to us. But justice always finds its way. What would you have done if you were in her shoes? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful true stories like this one.